Today I'm going to go over the back squat. The back squat is the king of all the lifts and should be the major pillar or foundation of your lifting program. Unfortunately, most people either don't perform the back squat at all or they're not doing the back squat properly. So today I'm going to go over the back squat. So let's hop right into it. One of the first things you want to do before you do your back squat is to get your foot placement, okay? So normally everybody's going to be a little bit different. Normally, most people are either hip width, so they have a little bit more of a narrow stance, okay, with their toes pointed out a little bit, or if you're like me, a little bit wider, shoulder width, okay? You just have to kind of play around with your squat stance. Again, everybody's different. Some people a little bit more narrow, some people are a little bit wider stance. For me, it's going to be shoulder width, all right? So again, try either hip width or shoulder width. All right, let's talk about bar placement. When you unrack the bar, which I'm going to show you guys here later, okay, you do not want to rest the bar on your neck, okay? You want to rest the bar across the meaty portion of your upper back, okay? Those are called your trap muscles. You want that bar rested across your trap muscles, all right? You're going to grip that bar, your hands should grip the bar just outside your shoulders or align with shoulders, okay? If you're having a hard time gripping the bar, try a loose grip on it, okay? Just a loose grip with just your fingers. You don't need to death grip it, all right? A loose grip is fine as long as you're keeping that bar secure to your upper back. And then your elbows aren't forward or backwards or sideways. You want your elbows pointed straight down towards the ground. Okay? When you start your descent, I want you to first, before you start your descent, suck in a bunch of air and embrace your core. Make sure your stomach's nice and strong, okay? Then you want to unlock the hips. So the hips, think about them unlocking, going back, and the knees are also unlocking at the same time, all right? And you're going to descend into that squat, all right? Now, you can do partial squats, but typically, unless your hips are at least 90 degrees, it's not a squat. So try to get your legs all the way down to 90 degrees or below. And same time, you want to keep your entire feet on the ground. Don't raise the heels off the ground. Try to bring the toes off the ground. Your full foot, spread those toes, okay? Sink those feet into the ground and keep them on there the whole time, okay? Now let me show you guys what it looks like with the barbell. So you walk over to your barbell rack, all right? And you'll get underneath that barbell. Again, I'm not placing the ball on my neck, right there in that knee portion. My elbows are down. I'm gonna pick that bar up, take a couple steps away, get my foot placement right. And remember, before I start, breathe in, get your core nice and tight, unlock the hips and knees. Don't lean too far forward. Real forward bend, chest out, legs at least 90, and I push through and up, okay? Also, one other thing I forgot to mention is the direction of your knees. So, whatever way your toes are facing, again, for some people, their toes are gonna be a little bit more forward, some more of an angle, okay? You want your knees to track or follow your toes. So what you don't want to do is to squat down and collapse the knees in like that, okay? You want to keep your knees out wide going towards your toes. And up, okay? Especially on the way up. See, a lot of guys do this, and gals. They bring their knees in, then they stand up, okay? Keep them out, point it out the whole time, and you'll build a nice, powerful squat. So for those of you who are having trouble with the back squat, you probably need to work on your mobility. So I'm going to show you a mobility exercise you can do to help increase the range of motion in your squats and your hips and your glutes. That way, when you go back to the barbell, you'll have a better squat and you'll be able to get deeper, maybe hitting that 90-degree angle that you're not hitting right now. So what you're going to need to do that is you're going to need some plates. So I've got about 3 bumper plates stacked up right here, and especially if you're having trouble keeping your feet flat in the ground, if your heels are coming up, get something like a rod or even like a 2x4 or something you can put your heels on, okay? So put that behind the plates here. And I like to do this barefoot just because you can feel the floor better. Especially when you're squatting, you shouldn't be using squishy shoes anyways. You should have something a little bit more solid and flat, okay? If you don't have something like that, you can always just squat barefoot. So you're gonna come up to your plates and you're gonna get your heels on that rod or 2x4, okay? And the plates are set up there if you don't have the range of motion to get all the way down to the floor, okay? So it's a good thing to start a little up higher up position. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do that squat with your heels elevated, and that way you're not gonna be tempted to rock forward or bring the heels up. They're already elevated, pushing through that rod, okay? So go ahead and squat down. Again, my knees are going out towards my toes, okay? Find the plates here, and you wanna stay very upright. You don't wanna hunch over like this, okay? You wanna stay upright and you wanna push hard through those plates, okay? My upper back's engaged, my core's engaged, and I'm sitting here in the squat, all right? From here, okay, you want to try to straighten the legs while keeping the hands on the plate. So it looks like this. And then you sit back down and that squat. And you can work that range of motion a couple times, 3 or 4 or 5 times until you get comfortable with it. Then you can start doing some arm rotations. So you keep one hand on the plate, rotate up, look up towards that hand, and back down. This is gonna help with your mobility in your shoulders, especially if you have a hard time gripping that bar, okay? And then the other way, okay? Again, trying to keep as solid and firm against that plate as I can, chest out, okay? Not moving forward like this, okay? And stand back up, straighten the legs, sit back down, get comfortable with it, open it up, open it up, back up, sit down. Again, I'm pushing against that plate, raise it up, raise it up, good, and stand up. So do about, 8 to 10 reps of those, 3 to 5 sets until you start getting more comfortable with your squats. As you get more mobile, as your range of motion increases, you can remove a plate. You can take a plate, move it out the way, go a little bit deeper into that squat until eventually you're not using any plates at all, okay? Or not even using the rod because you're keeping your feet solid on that ground, okay? So there's a couple little tips that you can use to help work on your mobility to improve your squat or help you actually get into that squat in the first place. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking for more tips on exercise, sports, and nutrition, subscribe to our YouTube channel.